So, give me a show of hands who played the game in the grassy knoll. All right, cool.
So, not quite. So, as of the beginning of this meeting, Bo actually won. With 4,370 points. Which team? So Gretchen's 3801.
Blue team?
Gretchen, so team-wise, the orange team won, and Gretchen was definitely the leader of the orange team. Something.
Yeah.
This doesn't count. But, yeah, so Bo as an individual voted.
Okay, you got to reset me, man. So I'm going to talk about the Step Exchange game. So this is a game that we first ran in the spring at the Maker Faire, if any of you were there. And soup to nuts, we started, it was 8 days where we kind of conceived of the idea and some sleepless nights to implement this. So it was a really fast prototype. And it was Gretchen and I and Jake and Deuce and a whole bunch of other IDOers who participated and created this. So, and it was a part of a really short project that we did for a global fitness company that came to us and said, we're really troubled by this growing obesity, and people are becoming fatter and more sedentary around the globe. That's a problem for our future business. What can we do to activate the inactive people around the globe? So, you know, there's this phrase around IDEO about a strategy that makes your hands bleed. So instead of talking about it, we did do that. We created a behavioral framework to kind of show them how to do this. We said, let's actually do it to actually show how behavior can become contagious. So one way to kind of view the challenge is, could a quantified us approach activate social networks? And can we actually see it happen and make it go? And we did this through the Step Exchange game, through, as you all know, pedometers. These are like $1.50 each, really cheap. SMS bridge, points, data, and data visualization to kind of produce this kind of group game and movement. So so there's pedometers and these coded stickers, cell phones. I don't know if you saw people connecting if you weren't playing, but you would connect with someone on your team to then start earning points, not only for every step you made, but for steps that they make after you've connected with them. So the incentive is to kind of connect early, connect often. It's a bit like a multi-level marketing thing where you can earn points off of the other people that are in your network. So, and the points were 1 step for every step you take, 100 points for every connection you made, and then you would earn, I think it was 1/10 of a point for every step that your connection made after you made that connection. So it was over a 2-day period. There was about, I think, 140,000 people at the fair. And we captured about 300 folks that participated in 6 games over 2 days and amounted to 650 connections. So we have kind of 5 learnings that we took from the game, and we had some video here that we'll show you. The first one is really what we call the upside of inefficiency. So it seems like there's this kind of underlying assumption about making social connections. The faster, more efficient, and more streamlined, the better. Think with Facebook and how easy it is to just have another 100 friends by clicking the button 100 times. We thought what we learned is that there's a real upside to actually inefficiency that slows it down back to the way we used to connect, right, by sharing space and air and time. So here's it in action. Yeah. So there were 2 of these guys knew each other. There was a real bonding between them that happened that wouldn't have otherwise happened if this was just a simple digital connection. So the second thing we learned is cheating is actually a way of kind of creating engagement. So the upside, the flip side of cheating is really innovation, right? New ways to kind of use a device that can then lead a designer to say, hey, that's really cool. How can we actually enfold that into the game? So here's some siblings, and you'll see what he does here. Right, so you can see his pedometer on his shoe there. And he keeps checking it, so it's the feedback that's really kind of keeping him on the path. He'll come up again in a second. So the third thing is the feedback. That monitor you saw on the grassy knoll was really kind of the campfire that people rallied around. It surprised me that I thought they would be much more engaged in the pedometer, and it turned out, this was actually my son, but a lot of people were as pleased with this because you saw the balls kind of moving around and aggregating. Your name is on them, and in this case, he was really inspired by seeing his name and his number. And if you get to see the screen, this is kind of what it looks like. So the fourth thing is that activity really is contagious. So it's kind of based on network science and Christakis' work around how behavior, obesity, happiness, loneliness, your weight is actually contagious. How much you weigh has a causal impact on your friend's weight as well. And there's a causal impact on their weight on you, which is kind of surprising because this is probably something you'll never actually meet. So we wanted to capture that for a client to show them, contagion of behavior kind of in action. So here's him again. He's cheating still. And you can see he got tired. But about this point, his sister sees him, and she goes, hey, man, I want some of that. And so she whips over and starts doing the same thing. And then the last one is the perhaps less surprising, but super inspiring to actually see it happen, is teams really motivate, right? It's kind of this kind of sense of competition, friendly competition, that really kind of keep people on the path. And the last video will show you here, you'll see that two girls that are jumping are actually from Health 2.0. We're hosting the pavilion that we were in. There was a lot of booths. We were just one of them. And so they were kind of like representing this organization you'd think would have like more composure than perhaps the rest of us. But no, they spent the entire weekend doing this, right? And you see this guy, he's not even playing. and these two people here, I think they're exchanging phone numbers. So there was a lot of connection that happened, and you can see the contagion here. So we've now run this, if you count tonight, 3 times. And we have an opportunity with another client as around kind of workplace wellness, actually, which I'd love to chat with you about, to actually rev the game and bring it into a corporate environment and still maintain that kind of inspiration. There it is. Thank you.
So we have about 5.5 minutes for questions. Yeah.
You want your parts back?
No, you can have those. Yeah.
Gary?
Here's a question. One of the things that people do like to move, and have you thought about the fact that the game in a corporate environment may have a positive effect of simply giving people permission to move? That could be powerful, I think, that suddenly walking around is not, is somehow allowed, and you're not confined to sitting at your desk, which people do experience as a miserable sort of life.
So we've actually had one project so far with this client, and there was a big theme in the project. We call it, how do you architect a culture? It's fun to talk about the power of norms and mimicking, but really it's, one way to view it is creating a new set of permissions, right, that become visible to others who maybe aren't participating, because then say, hey, if that person's doing it, they're lateral to me, maybe I can too, right? And that is a mechanism for how behavior spreads, right? And then once it becomes institutionalized, it then becomes this self-reinforcing, unwritten rule that's much more powerful than any policy or third-party well-being program that a corporation snoozes their employees with, right?
I want to, okay, I'll actually pass it over here.
Okay.
Yes.
Just like, have you thought about extending like the usage of the game to like networking events? So for example, one of the things that happens is like I would go to somebody who's like in blue and like talk to him like, hey, you have this number. So I mean, have you thought about extending it a little bit to like let's say a career fair or like any kind of like event where people like encourage people to network and like exchange emails?
So it's kind of like an icebreaker in a way.
That's a cool idea.
Contact and contact kind of like.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's kind of like if there's if you want dates, right, and you're single, have a dog, right? So it's kind of this third object that you can then share, and it's kind of it's less awkward. And the same with these pedometers, right? It's like it's something that you could pay attention to, and so it's an awesome idea.
Yeah, and you can like add like exchange of emails, like you can connect to somebody,
Yeah.
and get his email, and get my email. And
Yeah, it's awesome.
And the black shirt.
You know him.
Why, when for something that seemed like it's very strongly organized around teamwork and teams, did the culmination of it end up singling out an individual who supposedly won, and much more emphasis than on the team winning. So that seemed more like a consolation. Well, yeah, this team won, but the guy who really won.
So, no, nice catch. So, this is kind of like a demonstration. In fact, the Maker Fair, we only had 8 days to prepare, so we showed up at the fair kind of haggard because of lack of sleep. We didn't really have time to kind of organize the protocol. This really was a scientific experiment. So if you look at the instructions for the orange versus the blue, they're similar except for one change. With the orange team, you're earning points for your team, right? But if you're in the blue team, you're earning points for yourself, right? So that was a way to kind of, wouldn't it be cool, right? Kind of throwing this hypothesis out there, that if earning points for your team was somehow more motivating than earning points for yourself. It's kind of flipping off the traditional economists, right? Who would say earning points for yourself would be kind of more motivating. And I suspect it might not be in certain contexts. So that was the test underlying it. You know, we haven't actually like analyzed data yet.
So I want to jump in with a question too. Going back to the sort of meta QS questions and the final question, what did you learn? You probably said it, but can you just underline for me, what did you learn from a QS point of view? What are the takeaways?
So we were thinking of this really as the QU, quantified us. That's the thing that kind of really inspires me asking the question to you. So the primary thing was demonstrating contagion of behavior. So the client we were working with, it was like, I want to see it work too, as I was reading Christakis' book and others. It's like awesome data, but it's very different to actually see it in action. Hugely inspiring. It was kind of, the strategy that makes your hands bleed, show it, talk about it, but show it, because that's really that's the rhetorical power, right? To actually see it, then you believe it.
Cool, excellent. I think we have time for one more question, fast one. Robin.
Yeah, so did you, I saw there were a lot of kids who took part in this, and did you get any feedback on what they learned? Were they able to articulate it? I'm sure they did learn something.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to know what
Yeah, we didn't do kind of like follow-up debriefs with this, although we did observe kids. One thing I observed was pack mentality. So they would, kind of as a group just tear off and kind of run together. And they were really intrigued as you saw Finn kind of pointing up, seeing himself. It was kind of less about the numbers and kind of more about, hey, that's me, right? But I kind of,
you didn't get a chance.
Yeah, we didn't speak to them, so it'd be great too.
Great. Thank you so much.